What's going on, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez, and welcome to my Halt and Catch Fire Season 3 premiere review. Of course, we are reviewing Season 3, Episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 is titled Valley of the Heart's Delight. Episode 2, One Way or Another. So, spoiler the review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It should take me about 3 minutes to recap and then give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thank you for joining me. I love Halt and Catch Fire. I've had a history with it, man. Back in my old channel, I reviewed Season 1. I remember watching it exactly from the premiere, the actual premiere. I've been supporting this show ever before it even premiered, hashtagging all the time on Twitter and shit and doing all that bunch of stuff. But I supported the show a lot. I mean, I was only one of the few people reviewing Season 1 when it was back in, like, 3 years ago. You didn't have thousands of people reviewing it like Walking Dead every week or Breaking Bad when it was on or Sons of Anarchy. You had thousands of people reviewing that show. Halt and Catch Fire, when it was premiered 3 years ago, not many people were reviewing it, and I was one of the few, and I had good views and I had good ratings for that. And that it's just something that I loved, man. I think we had a fun time, and I wouldn't have known. You asked me 3 years ago, I'm like, this show's gonna get a third season. I'd be like, wasn't a bad show. Don't get me wrong. Season 1 was really good. Season 2 was great. So far, we'll get my Season 3 opinion of the premiere. Of course, link down below to my Season 2 Halt and Catch Fire playlist. I review all the Season 2 episodes there. That was from last summer. Now we're in this summer. School has started for many people. I graduated. But I'm wearing this, as I always do for every Halt and Catch Fire review. It was my dad's. Yes. Shiny. Anyway, let's get on to the review. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's do it. Okay, so now we are in 1986 and Mutiny has grown as a company. Now, they haven't grown huge, but they've grown pretty well ever since Season 2. So, Bosworth is singing. He's singing Frank Sinatra. They're having a launch party and everything. And Donna kisses Gordon. You know, they're doing this whole computer thing for this reviewer guy that came through who writes for the Journal or for the newspaper. And, you know, it's cool. You know, Donna's giving a little kiss for Gordon. But then we see the guys like Yo-Yo and the other people of Mutiny, the coders, they were mocking. They were like, oh, thank you, Gordon, for all the money you did. Instead of the love and actual love between them, she's like, metaphorically, oh, she's kissing him like, thank you, honey. I couldn't do it without you. Like, I couldn't do it without all your money that you gave us and stuff like that. So it's kind of like poor Gordon, you know, Scoot McNairy with his little mustache now. I'm like, I miss the beard, man. If I could grow a beard, I would get that beard, man. But, yeah, I guess the mustache works for him if he wants to be Ted Bundy. But, anyway, that's going on there. And all about the money stuff. So Jody is in trouble at school. There's this mini little earthquake. Obviously, California is known for having earthquakes. So I'm assuming they're at school. Earthquake going on? Yeah, it's just how you know. Another earthquake going on. So Brian has an idea. Or no, excuse me, Ryan. Ryan has an idea. And he's actually, you know, pretty good for the time. I mean, he looks like he's another Joe, Joe at the time, and he's working for Mutiny. He has an idea about this whole private chat of how there's hackers going in and our servers, and they could see private chats and stuff, and like all this idea, and he's giving this idea to Cameron and Donna. They end up denying him or being like, yeah, I mean, just email us later with the ideas and stuff. So that goes on. So he is annoyed. Gordon's annoyed by people and by the coders. Joe congrats John, because John Bosworth, he's going to be a grandpa. So Joe ends up calling. He's like, congrats. Like, what's the gender and stuff? He's like, how did you get this number? Congratulations. Joe ends up cutting off there. Gordon wants to do something else. He kind of wants to move on and not do really Mutiny anymore. He wants to just kind of do different things, and I think I'm not needed anymore. I think I've done all I needed to do. And Donna meets this other mom where Jody, the girl that she got in trouble with at school, the fight, that's the other mom. She ends up meeting that woman. And Cameron meets with this guy and this whole stuff there of the he's talking about like he wanted to give her a joystick and everything at this diner or something, and he has like they met on the community thing that they're making at Mutiny. Anyway, long story short, she ends up saying something that she probably shouldn't have about like, oh, like your son passed away or something. He's like, I never told you that. And she actually read the private chat stuff, and that's going against policy and stuff, and he's like, how do you know? how do you know? He's just like screaming and everything with that. So it's supposed to be private. He ended up losing his son, man. So he gets angry, and Ryan gets a raise. Basically, what I heard from Bosworth is Cameron and Donna basically want to shut him up, so they gave him a raise. Gordon smokes weed, kind of. He gets loose every now and then. He's like, this one's a beer, and just Gordon for the first time smokes weed. He's all like trippy and everything, and all good about that. So that was really fun to see that. So he makes love to Donna and everything that night. Also, he told stories about Joe to the coders, and I know, which I find it weird because Yo-Yo and them, they've met Joe McMillan before. It's not like they've never seen Joe before. He's like, the myth, the legend, Joe. It's like you met maybe you haven't had a one-on-one conversation, but you were near him in his presence before. It's not like it's a big, Joe, the man of the hour, something like that. But he ends up, telling the story to the coder. Bosworth is trying to reach his son. He can't end up reaching him, but his son calls back later. And his name's like Samuel John or something like that, his grandson. And then Joe at the end comes out, has his glasses, has his beard, has this Joe, and he ends up revealing this like antivirus system that he's been working on, and it's free. Tomorrow or something, he says, I will give it for free to all of you. So it was a good little speech he had there. So that's episode 1. Now on to episode 2. With that, Joe is at the beach. Ryan tries to talk to him. He was waiting for him, and he's talking about the whole antivirus stuff. And I have an idea. We could work on this together, stuff like that. Joe ends up bailing. He's like, "Yeah, kid, good job for that." So anyway, Cameron and Donna have this opportunity, and they talk to this man who they think could give like $1.4 million to them. He ends up saying like, all right, and they're going to go to dinner later, but he's just kind of like, they think they had the deal there, and in our eyes, it did look like they had a deal. The guy actually was like, okay, we'll see, we'll do this, Mutiny looks like it'd be a good investment. Gordon is now managing the coders and everything. It's kind of because Ryan ended up getting into like this little big argument with Bosworth, so Gordon's taking over that reign there. Ryan yelled at Bosworth, obviously. Dinner, they have the meeting there, and Cameron and Donna end up leaving because the guy he's like, well, we could be cheaper and everything, and then he ends up walking to go to the restroom, and she's like, you know what, let's leave. Like, the guy says, like, no one wears that type of red lipstick, only if they're, have a wild night and stuff, and just disrespectful. So she ended up leaving, man. They go to another place where they meet Diana and Elias, whatever his name is. And Diana is the girl of her daughter's, the girl that they fought with. Again, we met her earlier. Well, she's working at this company where they're going at, so they end up passing. Ryan meets with Joe, and he has 3 minutes to kind of say, like, I want to work for you, and I have a great idea. We could go into this in the future. Something's coming hard. And anyway, that change is coming, so Ryan ends up leaving. Gordon is on this video, and he's talking because he wants to sue Joe and everything, so he's doing this statement, and the guy's like, are you and Joe friends? I'm a business partner. Where were you living last year? And it's like, I told you already, in like Texas and stuff like that. So Joe enters like a badass dude. Joe literally walked in and he was like, well, there he is. I will give you 70% of the company. I don't know why I thought like Lee Pace like that. I want to build something. No one who's at the ball to do, having that Joe voice. I can't do that Joe voice. But Lee Pace, he has a kind of voice. Yeah, I know. It's not really good that voice. Yeah, mate. Are you good, mate? I can't do it right now. I was trying to do Sylvester Stallone accent. Anyway, Joe enters. He makes this offer. He ends up getting denied, deleted, obsolete by Gordon. So anyway, Jody has a party. A robot butler Bosworth gets. That ended up failing totally. Cameron gives Jody $20 to invite her bully, and she's like, she's so mean. So Gordon ended up giving $20 back to Cameron. There's this other company like Mutiny, we end up finding out, and Ryan ends up quitting Mutiny at the end to go work for Joe. Joe ends up offering him a job and everything, and Gordon at the end looks like he's sick. He looks like he can't handle. There's no chill. So that's something going on with the lovable Gordon there. So that was the second episode. Now let's get on to the pros and cons, starting off with the pros for Halt and Catch Fire, the Season 3 premiere. Now, the character of Joe has never been a great guy. He's always kind of been the silent antagonist of the whole series. Let's be partners. Season 1, Gordon, let's be partners. Screwed over. Season 2, hey, Gordon, we should do something. We should end up building something, Screwed over. Season 3, I'll offer you 70% of my business. Yeah, he was probably going to get screwed over again. So I love the idea of kind of Joe being the villain in this season. Even more, he's silently a villain in the first 2, but now he's full on revealed himself as the mastermind and the villain and shit like that. So I think Lee Pace is playing it well. I love his beard. I love his look. I love his new getup and everything. That was really cool. His sweats. Everything that he wears, man, is really fun and interesting. It makes Joe McMillan a really fun character as well. The opening of the episode with a party and seeing the coders, it was a great time because you're back into this world. You're diving back into this world of Halt and Catch Fire. This established characters, established people, the world that they've already been building for 3 years. So being back in the world and seeing the coders, seeing Yo-Yo, them having fun, and you see Gordon and Donna kind of a little bit yelling, not really much, but they're doing stuff at the bottom. Cameron's getting ready to do a speech. And everything is trying to, make it perfect. And Mutiny has a new office. I love their new headquarters. I love their new, setup and, all that. Bosworth is there, and Bosworth is an awesome character. Season 2 was the best with Bosworth. And he's singing. He's singing Frank Sinatra. You don't get any better than Bosworth singing. Better yet, singing Frank Sinatra. Now, I don't know all the music that they played within the 2 hours of the premiere. There were a few songs that I kind of okay. But 85% of the other songs, the punk songs and stuff that they played, I don't know the artist or song name, but for sure it fit the tone very well. Some of the drums, some of the beats and everything kind of fit that mood, fit the tone, what was going on as well. They've always done that with Season 1, Season 2, kind of like MTV, like this artist and this name, you could download it right here or something. That'd be a little funny thing with that Halt and Catch Fire 80s vibe. They're in the middle of the 80s. As well, Gordon smoking weed. That was a very, very funny thing that happened early on in episode 1 there with Season 3. I thought that was awesome. I thought, him coming to Donna, and it's like, he's so, oh, what are you guys doing? Hey, just, God, he played it very well, and I like how he was talking to the coders. I speak their language, he says, and it's true. And I love how they were kind of mocking him, and they were very unlikable, and I'll get to that in the cons. But Gordon actually talking to them and bonding with them more and becoming, let's talk about it, let's talk about Joe, let's talk about this. Don't underestimate Joe because that is where he is most powerful. Now, Cameron and Donna were interesting in Season 1. They weren't really that big of players. Cameron was, I guess, bigger than Donna in Season 1. But Donna didn't become interesting until Season 2. Cameron didn't become even better until Season 2. Those are when the women started to rise more than the guys. And here, Cameron is awesome, Donna's awesome, their chemistry there too. You feel like they're partners, they have their ups, they have their downs, they're going through all of this. Cameron has really matured over the past 3 years, over the past 3 seasons. So that was really awesome because I believe Season 1 was in 1981 or 1983. It was around there. I believe it was 1981 if I'm not mistaken. Could have been 1983. It was when Return of the Jedi came out, so I think that was 81. Maybe mistaken, maybe 83. But, yeah, there was definitely great seeing them together. They were strong and they felt awesome, man. I liked that. Donna was really cool, and I felt bad for her at times. As always, usually Donna always gets hurt on and trash and stuff. So that's kind of I like how Cameron and them kind of fought back a little bit there. So Ryan being smart. I think Ryan, I don't like his character. I hope he's not a Season 3 character that's going to be in the whole season. I hope not. Nothing against the actor, just the character himself, but I do like how smart he is and how he sees what Joe sees. He knows that something big is coming. He sees it. He's smart as Joe, but then again, the character and just the whole get-up of what Ryan, because he was so everyone shut up, and of course everyone's not doing their job, but he's just too serious. He's not fun, not whatsoever where I'm interested. I could care less about him really, but I do like how smart he is. I do like that, he's another Joe McMillan. Now hopefully he doesn't last the whole season, hopefully, But I do kind of like the idea of that when he was talking to Joe, Joe was interested, and then he's like, get away from me. But you could tell Joe was totally into what he was saying, and he wanted to hear more. Of course, that's why he ended up hiring him. Now, there is quite a few problems with the Season 3 premiere. There was some slow pacing within Episode 1 and Episode 2. Like, it started off good, and then it kind of just, became slow. And slow as in, okay, this is happening, that's happening, nothing really interesting. Yeah, that's going on, storyline moving, nothing big, nothing huge, nothing really to react to, nothing there. Okay, that happened. Okay, something happened there. Oh, slow. Okay, Joe comes out, Episode 1, he's doing his speech. It ends, goes to Episode 2. Slow moving, pacing. This ain't Season 1. This is Season 3. Slow. So, don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole slow-paced shit of other TV shows. I'm not, because I've talked about it before. But, it's trying to tell a story, it's trying to do this. No, it's just, it was very slow-paced. Not what I would say, I mean, it's obviously worth watching. It was a good Season 3 premiere. It wasn't great. Because it just you lose track of what's going on sometimes. Literally, some scenes going on, and there were about 4 or 5 times during the premiere where I literally lost focus. I literally lose focus. It doesn't keep me intact, and I'm like, okay, shit, what's going on? I had to actually rewind like 2 or 3 times in order to see what they said, because either I didn't hear it, either they lost me at a second. Out of this whole technical talk, I mean, I'm used to it. But they just lose me, the way that it's done, the way that they do it. So it's not a perfect show, don't get me wrong, but I really do enjoy the show a lot. I've been supporting it forever, like I said, but it has a slow pacing for sure, this premiere. It started off really good, then it was fine. I mean, it stayed above water, but then it kind of dunked a little bit, and kind of like, oh my god, about to suffocate. Okay, come back up for, some air. And like I said in Season 2, goddamn, Gordon and Donna are pretty bad parents. Even at the party, I gotta be honest, the way that Gordon, talks to his daughter, there's just no chemistry there. It feels like Gordon was barely there for his daughter's life. It doesn't feel... maybe it's supposed to feel like that, but even this thing... It just doesn't feel... There never was chemistry between them and their daughters, like the parents, and then they're never there for their kids. Where are their kids at the rest of the day? What are they doing? Why don't they spend time with their kids? I mean, they're just not the greatest parents ever. And now they're throwing a party. I'm like, really? They're actually throwing her a party? They actually did all of that for her. And it's random. They did not do that party for her. They're not that type of parents that even have the money. I mean, I guess they do have the money now. But, you know what I mean? They've been like that forever since Season 1. They never were that best of parents ever. And their chemistry with the kids isn't that perfect. Now, the kid actors are fine. They're not bad. But the chemistry between them I don't see it. It's just like there's a little actress, and then there's Gordon, and there's Donna, basically. The most disappointing thing for me about the premiere is the coders. Now, of course, I think the coders were more fun in Season 2 than what it was here, because the way that they make the coders look, they look like a bunch of douches. They look like they don't do their job, and apparently they don't really do their job. But the thing is that Yo-Yo was making fun of Gordon. Yo-Yo was being mean during this episode. Yo-Yo wasn't being cool as Yo-Yo usually is. He's the big Asian guy with a beard. He was awesome in Season 2. He was fun. I mean, he even left in Season 2 and then came back in Season 2, and that was a very fun thing. It's like, he's back and everything. And in here, they make him look all really mean and douchey and not cool to hang out with. And I didn't like that, how they made him look really bad, and, They weren't the coders that I remember from Season 2. They really changed quite a lot. I just simply don't like Ryan's character. I'll go with it for a few episodes, but I'm just hoping it's not a full Season 3, 10 episode Ryan's going to be in every episode. I hope not. I hope it's just like he's in for 2-3 episodes, he's out, that's it. Because I don't care for Ryan's character. Like I said, I think he's smart. I think he has something to offer with Joe, but once Joe gets once he steals his ideas, hopefully he'll just throw them away and we'll never see him again. I'm hoping for that. So, yeah, Ryan's smart, and I like the idea of him being smart and just like Joe, but the guy who, again, I don't have nothing against the guy playing him, but just that he's too almost bipolar in a way, where he gets angry and he's yelling, and he takes his work serious, well then why are you even working at Mutiny? Leave. Go. No one wants you here. I mean, don't stay there if you can't get your work done. Go do your work at home or something. Why do you gotta do it there? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't feel it with the whole Ryan of getting angry and all this, and just quit. Leave. Go create your own company. Just do that. It just kind of pissed me off there with that. As well, Gordon's mustache. I know this is a small thing, but come on, Gordon, grow your. I'm waiting until he grows his beard back this season. Hopefully he does. But damn, and he's getting sick too. I mean, that's not a con there, but he's been sick, and I'm hoping that Gordon, you know. I really do enjoy Gordon, and you can't have Joe without Gordon. You can't have Gordon without Joe. It's just the way it is there. As well, you can't have Cameron without Joe, and you can't have Joe without Cameron. It's the same kind of build there. So overall, for *Halt and Catch Fire* Season 3, the premiere, I'm going to give it a B-. Now, that equals just good. It was good. You know, it was on the verge of okay there. It's a good, okay, good. It wasn't great. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't awesome. It was just a good premiere, honestly. I felt like I enjoyed the Season 2 premiere just a little bit more. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, Bosworth was awesome in here. I like the Frank Sinatra singing. I like the music. I hope Bosworth would get to see maybe him and his grandkid one day. It's great to see the characters back. I mean, Lee Pace was awesome as Joe. They're back. I mean, you see them as their characters in here. But the pacing just, and don't get me wrong, it's not pacing like I want to turn this channel off. I'm not going to watch it. Nothing like that. It's just, it had just that slow pacing where you could kind of tell what the season's going to be. I mean, it's simple. It could have been done in one episode. Joe is the villain, and he's doing his own thing. Ryan goes over to work for Joe. It didn't need to be a 2-hour premiere, really. It could have been just separate, and I would have been totally fine with that. But what they did there, I mean, it's fine. I mean, they did what they did. And it's a B-. It was good. It wasn't great. I thought it was a good premiere. Not the worst, not the best. So thank you guys so much for watching. You can comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about *Halt and Catch Fire* Season 3 premiere. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. As well, click the link down below to check out my Season 2. What I thought about Season 2 of all 10 episodes for *Halt and Catch Fire* down below for the playlist. You could hit that like button if you enjoyed. Share with your friends. And hit that subscribe button as well. For more movie reviews, TV show reviews, WWE videos, live streams, I mean, just a bunch more, man. So I'd really appreciate that. Road to 500, here we come. On Catch Fire next week. It used to be on Sundays, now it's on Tuesdays, but we'll be on it, man. I'll be on it for sure. Season 3, off to a good start, not a great start. I'm a little disappointed with a few things I kind of pointed out, just little disappointments there, here and there. But overall, I think I enjoyed episode 2 a little bit more than episode 1. Episode 1 got better at the end, and it was good in the beginning, and in the middle was kind of that slow build-up part, getting there, and then episode 2 was kind of the good, slow, good, slow, good, slow, and then the party was kind of iffy and cringy at the same time, but it worked. I mean, it works. It goes on, and, you know, they're both watchable. Not horrible episodes. Obviously, they're both watchable. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't seen *Halt and Catch Fire* Season 1 or Season 2, Netflix it, man. Netflix it all the way. Till next time, bye-bye.